Hello. Welcome. My name is Lindsay Funk. I am the Adult Services Manager at the Morton Library, and I'm excited to be here today to tell you about our e-reading services that we offer that you can get from home even while we're closed. So I am gonna talk about a few different things that I've prepared, but if you have questions, please just comment them below, and I'll see those and try to answer them as best I can. So we have a couple people live. Okay, so we offer 3 different downloadable services. I kind of use different phrases interchangeably. Downloadable services, e-reading services, e-reading apps, etc. They all mean the same thing. The 3 services we offer are Hoopla, Libby. Libby may also be referred to as Overdrive. They're the same company. And Access 360. And Access is like the earth rotates on its axis. So those are all services we offer to you for free, where you can get ebooks and audiobooks. Those are all available as apps that can be downloaded from your Apple Store, from your Android store, to your phone, to your iPad, your tablet, etc. Hoopla and Access 360 can also be used on a browser if you don't have a smart device. Libby is not available from a browser, but if you have a Windows 10 computer, you can get Libby from your app store that way and download Libby to your computer. A lot of people ask us what the differences are between the 3, which is a good question, and which one should I use, like which one's the best. And it's personal preference. I usually tell people you can decide for yourself which one's the best for you, because they all have different things about them that make them really cool. So I thought I'd just start with kind of what's different about them. So as far as content goes, like what's available to read on these different services, so they will all have some overlapping content. You might find a title that's available on all 3 of them, but they all have unique titles as well. So if you feel comfortable using technology, if you feel really tech savvy, I recommend downloading all 3 of them. I have all 3 of them on my phone, and anytime I know of something I want to read, I check all 3 to see if it's available. If you're not super tech savvy, you don't feel super comfortable, then listen on and see which one sounds like the best fit for you, and just start with that one, and that's totally great. So let's see. Content-wise, we don't have a lot of say in what is available on Hoopla and Access 360, but we do have some say in what's available on Libby. So if you are not finding something that you really want, especially while we're closed, on those 3 services, a little insider tip: if you go onto our website, you can fill out a request form, and we could possibly purchase that item you're looking for. So if you go to mortonlibrary.org, and at the top there's a tab that says books and ebooks, I believe, and go down to the bottom of that little drop-down menu, there's an option for request a purchase. Fill that form out, and we will get that request, and we would be happy to consider it. I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to purchase it, but we are definitely happy to try to accommodate those requests. Okay, so content-wise, they vary. Another big difference is you may or may not have to place a hold depending on which service you use. So one of the really cool things about Hoopla is that it's what we refer to in the library world as simultaneous use. So that means everything you see on Hoopla is available all the time. You will never have to place a hold on anything, which is really cool. To kind of counter that, we do place a checkout limit per month on Hoopla. Right now, the limit is set to 10 checkouts per month. We raised that when we closed for the coronavirus. It used to be 6, so take advantage of that while you can. So 10 checkouts per month on Hoopla, but you never have to place any holds. Libby and Access 360 work similar to the way that the print books do in our physical library. So we only have a certain amount of copies of each title, and if they are checked out right now, you might have to place a hold, and you'll be notified when it becomes available. So Hoopla, no holds, but you do have a 10 checkout limit a month. Libby and Access 360, there's no monthly limit. There's just a limit on how many things you can have at one time. I believe the limit is 5 for both of those. But if you're like me, you usually have like maybe 2 or 3 things you're reading at a time. So if you can read more than 5 things at a time, let me know your secret. And once you, for Libby and Access 360, once you return something, you can check out something new. So 5 at a time, but you can have as many as you want a month. Another difference is Hoopla has more formats available than just ebooks and audiobooks. They also have music. They have a really great music selection, and movies and television. So if you're kind of bored with what's available on Netflix, give Hoopla a try. If you're tired of listening to the, same old Baby Shark or whatever it is that your kids have been listening to, Hoopla is a really great option for music and television. The last difference I wanted to point out is if you use a Kindle. I have a Kindle Paperwhite. So if you like to read on your Kindle, the only one of those 3 services that's going to be compatible for that is Libby. Libby has Kindle compatibility so that it will send the ebook to your Amazon account, which then you can send to your Kindle. So if you are a Kindle user, definitely check out Libby. It's pretty easy to do. So with those differences being said, they all have really great things about them. You can decide for yourself which one is the best. And let me know. I'd be interested to hear what other people think. So as far as accessing these services, like I said, you're going to need to download them from your app store if you're using like your phone or an iPad, which you'll need an internet connection for. And then you'll need an internet connection in order to browse and download titles. So I'm assuming if you're watching this, you probably have an internet connection at home. But I wanted to give another little insider tip. If you know of somebody who doesn't have an internet connection at home right now, that can be kind of tough because most places that you might normally go to get internet are not open right now. So I wanted to just share that the library's Wi-Fi is still on. So you, if you wanted to go to our parking lot and safely stay in your car and continue social distancing, you should be able to get our Wi-Fi. So pass that along to anybody you might know who, may want to download some things but can't get internet at home. So you will need an internet connection to download the apps and then download the things you want to read or listen to. Once they're downloaded, then you can read, watch, listen offline. Normally I tell people, you can download and then, listen to the book on the plane, but a lot of us aren't really going anywhere anytime soon. But you can download an audiobook and then go for a walk or, do the dishes or whatever. I guess you have internet in your house to do the dishes, but my point is you can listen and read and watch things offline if you need to once you download them. So once you download the apps, you will need your library card and your PIN number to sign in. If you don't know that information or aren't sure of your PIN, I will say, if you aren't sure of your PIN, go ahead and try the last 4 digits of your library card number. It's a good chance that that is your PIN. But if that doesn't work for you, just email us questions@mortonlibrary.org, and we are happy to try and help you figure that out. Let's see. Hoopla does require an email address, a unique email address, to make an account. Once you sign in with all of those services the first time, normally you don't have to sign in every time. It's kind of like an initial setup. I haven't seen any questions come in yet, but anyone feel free to interrupt me if they have a question. Another cool thing about these services is that they are automatic returns. So when the due date comes, it will disappear from your account. So you never have to worry about returning things on time or overdue fines or anything like that. So that's really nice. I wanted to talk a little bit about troubleshooting, especially since we are closed right now. I know we get calls a lot and people coming in for help with this stuff. So I thought I'd share some basic tips that I've learned over the years. So first of all, if you need extra help or you need help getting started, we do have some resources on our website. If you go to mortonlibrary.org and that books and ebooks tab, and then I think there's an option in the drop-down menu for ebooks and audiobooks. We have some instructions on getting started with some of these. There might be links to some videos for you to get started, and that's just a good way to kind of get yourself familiarized with these services. If you're having trouble, like I said, signing in, or it's giving you some kind of error message when you try to sign in, we'll probably want to make sure that everything's good with your account and that you're using the right PIN number. So you can just email us questions@mortonlibrary.org, and we'll just make sure that your account's up to date and that you're using the right PIN number. Sometimes that's like an easy fix. Also make sure the device that you're using is up to date. So like your iOS software or your Android software is just is as up to date as possible, because sometimes that can cause some glitches if you're using old software. And then if you're having troubles with an app, like it works and then one day it doesn't, my biggest tip, which seems really simple but it works like 80% of the time, is to uninstall and then reinstall the app, and then just sign back in. And honestly, that fixes a lot of problems, and that's always the first thing like customer support will ask is like, well, did you uninstall and reinstall? So always give that a try. And then if you're still having troubles for any reason, just email us questions@mortonlibrary.org, and we would be happy to try and help. It's a little tricky, from afar when we're social distancing, but we are really happy to try and help as best we can. So that is everything that I have, and I didn't see any new questions come in, but if you watch this later and you have questions, you can comment them below and I'll keep an eye on it. Or again, questions@mortonlibrary.org. You can email us whenever, or private message us in Facebook, and we're happy to help you out. So thank you for tuning in, today, and I hope you can find some good things to read even while we're closed. If you go back to last Thursday, Alyssa and I talked about some recommendations, some of our favorite books that are available to read on Hoopla and Libby. And we're doing that again on Instagram Live this Friday at 2 p.m. So you can tune in there, and I will try to put the recording of that on here on Facebook afterwards. So if you're looking for some recommendations, be on the lookout for that. So thanks for joining me today. Have a good one.